Chapter 2. In some ways, it was a huge disappointment that Gerard wasn't in my class. In other ways, it was a relief. I longed to see him again, to talk to him, and to feel his warmth, but that would have been way, way too distracting in class. Hmm? Hmm? Hmm. Especially with Mai around. Well, when lunch finally rolled around, I sprang from my chest like a rocket shooting out into space.
Hana!
Whoa, Hana, calm down. Hurry up, Mai, I'm really hungry today. I'm sure you are, Hana. Hungry for Gerard.
What?
Pardon? Nothing. Let's go. As Mai and I approached the normal boots table, Gerard flashed around an IBK with a gray wizard's hat and a long beard, a huge dorky grin on his face.
See what I mean?
Check it out! It's Grandbeard the Bay. Okay, he's one of the rarer finds, and is said to lack a gender, not participating in either norms, but preferring to be referred to as a he. We squeezed into the table as the rest of the boys looked on, bemused. Cool. I like his cloak.
Right?
Right? Most of the versions I saw were missing it, but they were still trying to charge almost full price for him. It was ridiculous! The boys nodded slowly. Nobody else seemed to know what to say, despite Gerard's intense enthusiasm. Distracting with that, Flynn. You were talking about Youngtown? We've been pestering about singing together these past 4 days. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh wait, did I miss? Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gerard glowed with pride, completely oblivious to the weird looks he received from students at the other tables. He truly didn't seem to care what other people thought about him. I had no idea how he could stick to his guns without feeling even the slightest bit ashamed. As Gerard returned to his seat, I waved sheepishly at him.
Good morning.
Hana, good morning! How are you?
Good morning.
I'm great, thank you. How are you? I'm fantastic! Even better now that I've seen you. I couldn't wait to show you Grandbeard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks really cool. Super cute.
Awesome.
Yeah, apparently Grandbeard casts magic with his hair. And his secret weapon is his eyelashes. Now that you mentioned it, Grandbeard's long lashes stretch from his face in a somewhat creepy way. Other than that, he looked like a cuddly old kitty. But those eyelashes.
Excuse me, can I see that figure?
The young student, probably a first year, approached the table and poked Gerard in the back.
Uh-huh.
Of course! Turned completely around, chatting animatedly with the kid about the trade he made for Grandbeard, and the myriad route it took to get him. I watched him, happiness filling my heart. Gerard was just so cool! Even at the times I had stayed true to myself in my old school, I ended up feeling a constant gnawing anxiety. Wanted to take it back or make up for it again so it would go away. Gerard just seemed to be happy. When he was around, even I could show my interest in this strange hobby without feeling bad about it. Earlier in the year, I would have felt more embarrassment for him than he did. As I looked more closely at Grandbeard the Bay, I remembered my own Chibiupa, and a sudden thought occurred to me. I was probably in the same boat as Gerard. If anybody ever found out about her, I'd be mocked to hell and back. Probably not as bad as Gerard, given that I was a girl, but I could already hear the whispers. Nerd! Hear the whisper pointing out that I had no business being involved in the normal Boots Club when I was clearly such a weirdo. Oh. Mimi would never let me forget it either, would she? Every time I ran into her in the bathroom, she'd mock me. Maybe people would even try to take Chibiupa away from me. A feather-light touch tapped my shoulder, and my dark thoughts were banished. My motioned for me to come closer to her, and I leaned to whisper in my ear. What do you think about Gerard's itty-bitty kitty collection? I mean, honestly speaking... Honestly speaking? Honestly? I don't know. This would actually change my opinion in the game about them. I think in any case, the best choice would be, I think they're cute. I think Hana finds them cute. It's not kind of weird, that's definitely not. He's passionate about them, that's true. I'm just gonna go with I think they're cute. Mai shot me a weird look and then shrugged. I guess. And I admire how much dedication it probably takes to collect something for so long. Mai nodded passively, apparently quite aware that I was backtracking. I turned away, cheeks burning. When we were finished eating, Mai and I dumped our trays and headed for the door.
Hana!
Hana! Mai and I turned, and an eager Gerard ran up to us. Hey Hana, I was hoping I could walk you back to class today. What do you think?
Really?
Me? Why? Yes, you, of course you! In that case, I will entrust you to her care. Mai clapped Gerard's on the back, then gave me a wink and a thumbs up. But...
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby. Hey Jared, wait up! Jared glanced over his shoulder and upon seeing my enthusiastic form barreling towards him, immediately sprinted out the door. Unfortunately, if there was one person on Earth who could give Jared a literal run for his money, it was Mai. She dashed through the door, and clouds of dirt kicked into the air around their chase, a veritable sandstorm spitting through the Asagao campus. Anyways, what's up? Nothing's up. I just wanted to hang out with you. I mean, I know we just saw a ton of each other at the flower festival and everything, but... Well... At the mention of the flower festival, we both fell into an odd silence, memories floating in the space between us. Yeah, that sounds great to me. Great! Gerard beamed at me and pushed the cafeteria door open. We stepped into the fresh spring air, the remnants of Mai's chase still drifting in the distance before us. Now that Gerard and I were alone, I didn't know what to talk about. It was weird, we had feelings for each other. How are we supposed to talk? That is something... That is... like, an issue. Like, what to talk about? Gerald strolled next to me, staring up into the deep blue sky. Think of something, Hana. Chibiupa is doing well, by the way.
Really?
Is she? That's great! She's really cute, and she's small, so she doesn't take up that much space. I can see how having a whole bunch of itty-bitty kitties would be appealing. So much cuteness, and you can see it every time you wake up.
Right?
Right? That's exactly how I feel about it. It's just really fun, and if you can find something to brighten up your day, why not do it? Life can already be hard enough, so we shouldn't make it harder for anybody.
Right?
Right? As I beamed at Gerard, a memory wedged itself into my mind. A memory from just before I came to Asagao. A memory that involved one of my past friends. We shouldn't make it harder for anybody. Huh? But... Oh, so today I've got some news about Princess Pumpernickel. Princess Pumpernickel? She's the rarest itty-bitty kitty figure. Supposedly there's only 3 copies of her in existence. Apparently, some collectors are starting to think she doesn't exist. One compiled this huge list of information about the supposed figure and posted it online, and now the communities split on it. Even direct feedback from the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee didn't calm the flame war. It's gotten intense. Do you think it exists?
Absolutely.
Of course I do! Why on earth wouldn't they? That would be a waste of time and money on the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee's part, and it would make their fan base angry. What purpose would that serve? Even in the event they didn't have one before this outrage, they'll be starting up production as we speak. He sighed dreamily. I can't wait for the day I have my very own Princess Pumpernickel. Can you imagine? Damn it, I shook my head. I had no idea what it was like to long for something so intensely, nor to stay so upbeat in the event of an almost inevitable failure. Seriously, only 3 copies in the entire world? And the developers probably own one of those for sure. But Jorah was undeterred. I wanted it ever since I first started collecting. You could say the dream of having it was what sparked my fascination with IBKs in the first place. That's so cute. We stopped in front of the door to my classroom, and Gerard saluted me.
Thanks for listening.
Well, I'll be on my way. Thanks for walking with me. No, thank you. God damn it, why do I keep pressing the right mouse button? Gerard disappeared into his own classroom, and I stopped to grab my math book from my locker before heading in. When I closed my locker door, Jimmy was there. Oh! What is this? He's never gonna find it, you know. I stared incredulously at him, and he pointed from his eyes to mine. I'm watching you. What? Jimmy slithered off toward the lower staircase, heading to his classroom on the first floor. I shook my head slowly. Sure, it was possible that Gerard wouldn't find his itty bitty kitty figure, but I wanted him to find it. I really wanted him to find it. Surely there was some way I could help. So immediately after class, I made my way to Bluebell House. If I was going to help Gerard find Princess Pumpernickel, I needed to know what she looked like. I knocked on Gerard's door, and he instantly threw it open, as he was waiting on the other side the whole time. Hana, so glad to see you. Why didn't you come in? Okay. Gerard's dorm was surprisingly neat, considering how many itty bitty kitty figures he had. He must have cleaned it up a bit after the last time I saw him. Shane glared at me from his desk, where he was bent over some kind of drawing pad. I smiled nervously at him, and he huffed. And he went instantly back to his art. What did I ever do to him? Gerard scanned his room, and after a few seconds he went to his desk and leaned ever so casually against it.
What's going on?
So what brings you here? I just saw you earlier today. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother you.
Say what?
You're not... Say what? You're not bothering me. Don't even worry about it. I'm always around when you need to talk. Awesome. Apparently finding the desk too uncomfortable, he perched himself on the couch, grabbing a pillow and hugging it close. He looked like a kid at a slumber party. So, what are the deets? Well, I wanted to help you find Princess Pumpernickel, but in order to do that, I'm going to need some information. I tried my hardest to look imposing. My game face was on, but Gerard just laughed. That's really sweet of you, but if I can find it, there's no way you can. You don't know that. Maybe I'll just be in the right place at exactly the right time. Maybe. I guess so. Well... He glanced quickly at Shane, then turned back to me with a mischievous smile. There's a gaming convention happening this weekend, and we were all planning to go. Maybe you could come along? Shane's pencil broke mid-joke and cursed softly.
What?
I knew it. A convention? I've never been to one. What are they like? Well, they're a place to find out about cool games, buy neat fan gear, meet people, and mostly hang out with friends. Almost like a vacation. I know they're intimidating because of all the people, but they're really fun. You should come. That is very true. I went to, there is, once a year there's like a gaming convention in Utrecht, or Utrecht as we call it in the Netherlands. And that's like a miniature E3. Like the games of course have mostly all been announced, of course, because it is not E3. But yeah, there we got to play a lot of games that weren't out yet, and that was really cool. And yeah, I highly recommend them. You should come. Shane very audibly sighed. Gerard glanced at him, the picture of concern. Hey, Ultra Tom! Popped it from the Shinx army. Hello! Cool. Did I get like a retweet from back then? I don't know. Thank you for the host. And for the follow. Thank you. Got artist block? Something like that. Anyways, there are always people selling IBKs there. And maybe someone will have Princess Pumpernickel. It's worth a shot, isn't it? An image of the map Gerard was drawing as I asked him to the flower festival popped back into my head. He'd been preparing for this for weeks. Well, I'd love to come to help. I can come too, right?
Yeah.
Definitely! The more the merrier. Oh my god. Really?
Oh.
Did you drop an ink blot again? Man, today is not your day. No, it really isn't. Oh, but how am I going to get out of class on Friday? The Normal Boots Club has special permission to go, so I'll just add your name to the list. The Normal Boots Club had permission to skip class? I never heard of such a thing. Oh, cool. The Normal Boots Club had permission to skip class? I had never heard of such a thing. So this was the might of their power.
Yay!
In that case, I better get my homework done. I don't want to be doing any on the trip.
All right.
Great! Man, I'm even more excited. It'll be the best one ever, eh, Shane? Kill me now. Kill me now. That was awesome. An awesome conversation with Shane. A road trip with the Normal Boots Club? Getting to go with them to a convention? This was the greatest day of my life! The amount of effort Mai and I put into our homework that week was only matched by our rabid excitement at the slowly approaching weekend. For the first time in forever, Mai didn't procrastinate. When we studied together, she actually helped instead of mooching off my work. Not that I usually minded. As we packed our bags the night before, slight trails of blood kept falling from Mai's nose.
Oh, Jared.
Oh, Jared. You don't think you can go with any other route? Aw. Yeah, Peanut Butter Gamer. Yeah, PBG's route was, like, awesome. That was a great route. Very cute. Mai, you sure you're okay? Oh, totally. I'm totally fine. So was that on Friday morning. Mai and I stumbled out into the pre-dawn light, eyes barely even open. It was chilly that morning, and we huddled together as we walked to Asagao's iron rod front gates.
Hey, Mai, Hana.
Did he speak all the names? PBG's best night. I press the space bar instead of B. Cool. Isn't it? It's exactly the same. That's what me and Mia have been saying as well. Hey guys, good morning! Gerard waved vigorously at us as we approached, and I resisted the urge to clamp my hands across my ears.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are we ready to go yet? Gerard glanced at the others. Jared, John, continued Satch. Everybody was there, spreading yawns between each other like the plague. No, we're still missing some people.
Really?
Missing some people? Who on earth?
Hey.
Hey guys, sorry we're late. I jumped and skittered several feet away. Ian and the rest of the Hidden Block Club were behind me, looking just as miserable as I left. Yeah, it makes the most sense. An Asagao theory! Thanks for dating! My street clothes! Looking just as miserable as I felt.
Awesome!
Sweet! We're ready to go! Wait, you guys are coming too? Of course. It's a video game convention after all. But we're enemies. That's adorable. Ian brushed past me. We might be enemies, but we're also friends. Frenemies?
Oh yeah.
Frenemies who sincerely want the best for each other. So, friends then? No, frenemies. If we don't get going now, we'll miss the train, and I'm not up for waiting another 2 hours for the next one.
Right.
Right, everybody sail out! We piled into the tiny train which at such an early hour was mostly occupied by little old men and ladies on a day trip. That is not how I imagined you saying the my is street clothes thing. Wait. Mai and Hana, yeah, definitely that's definitely a good ship. Though, just, I think the end of PPG's route was perfect with Hana dating PPG and Mai dating Jared. They watched us enter the train with something like abject terror. One lady hid her purse as we passed. Eventually, Mai, Gerard, PPG, and I found an empty compartment and piled in. Gerard peered out the window, head flicking like a dog's as he watched the trees pass by. So what are we going to do when we get there? I don't know. I'll probably wander around.
Uh-huh.
Aren't there supposed to be a pregame somewhere on the second floor? We have to check in first, but after that, everybody can do what they want. Oh. You okay with that? I guess I didn't check with you before. I've never been to a convention before, and I'm really nervous. What if I get lost? I don't know much about games either. Conventions are so fun, though. You'll be fine. Don't even worry about it. I smiled weakly at Mai. It was easy for her to say something like that. She was a social butterfly with a bright and vibrant personality. No matter where she went or who she talked to, she glistened. I, on the other hand, was me.
Yeah.
They were playing D&D. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were playing D&D. Like Jerry was in his like mage's outfit, and yeah. I said we still need a cleric. So yeah, they were definitely playing D&D. I mean, it really is just a bunch of fans gathering to have fun. That was a different part. That was in Jared's route. I mean, it really is just a bunch of fans gathering to have fun. No one's going to grill you about why you're there. Everybody wants to have a good time. I guess so. If you want, you can stick around with me. It might get a little boring, but I won't mind the company. You're debating on whether or not to draw that. Do it! It searched Gerard's face, wondering whether his offer was sincere. Gerard was such a nice guy, but it was hard to tell whether he was doing things just to be nice, or whether he sincerely wanted to do them. Did he feel responsible for me, or did he feel obligated to help people out? He was, after all, nice to everyone. I didn't plan to hang around him and wreck the convention he'd been planning to go to for months. He had a map, for heaven's sake. I wouldn't get in the way. I didn't want to be trailing him around like a kindergartner, afraid to leave her mom either. Still, like, that is not... If you're at a convention, you're there to have fun with friends. You can just stick around with people and have fun. I don't want you to have to babysit me. Yeah, that's definitely not the direction you should go with, so I'd appreciate it. Gerard gently laid a hand on my shoulder, the sudden weight of it surprising me. I remember what it was like to go somewhere alone for the first time. I was terrified too, but that's how I met all these guys. There's things I want to draw, but there's kind of no point now. That's how I met all these guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a great time. The train shuddered and pulled into a station. My heart leaped into my chest, but everyone else cheered and whooped.
Yahoo!
Time to get this party started! And to make new ones. Yeah. It's like being in the YouTube comments of like a video game YouTuber without the hate. Basically. Without people being dicks towards each other. It's all just nice and when we walked up to the convention the last time I went there, I know I keep doing that on like by accident. But when we last walked towards the convention, we talked to a guy who was very much into Call of Duty, and we just talked about like what games we preferred and what games we were into. I've got literally nothing with Call of Duty. So a live stream, yeah, basically. Yeah. Well, there are some stupid idiots in live streams sometimes. But yeah. I'm really not into Call of Duty, but we were just talking about what games we preferred, and it was just a nice conversation. That's all your experience, okay? My PPG grabbed their stuff and dashed straight off the train, but Gerard waited by the door while I pulled my backpack down for the upper racks. Zombie mode. You ready for this? I think so.
Oh yeah.
Great! Let's go! TF2 is your jam. TF2 was pretty fun to do. I also enjoyed like the beta of Overwatch. It was fun. The convention hall and the hotel we were staying at were both located. Okay, so they're staying for like a weekend. That's cool, like the entire weekend. I was just there for like a day. We were at the convention literally 2 days ago. The convention hall and the hotel we were staying at were both located smack dab in the middle of the city, surrounded by a torrent of rushing cars and people sprinting down streets. The four of us wandered into the hotel lobby. Mai and I had a room together, being the only two ladies on the trip. I grabbed the room key and led the way to our temporary home. I pushed open the door and came into a delightfully airy room. It looked relatively clean, and I sighed with relief. It would be nice to have a quiet space to retreat to if I ever felt overwhelmed.
Yay!
Heck yeah! Mai sprinted past me and flung herself, luggage and all, straight onto the bed. Mai? Oh my god, I love hotel beds! They're so soft! It depends on which hotel you're at. I got the spot by the window! Super Smash Flash 2. Oh, that's not a very powerful computer. Whatever you say. Maybe quiet wasn't the right word. Mai and I set our stuff to the side and spent a few minutes gathering our bearings before getting ready to head back outside. Mai, I'm kind of scared. I don't know anything about conventions. I don't want to feel stupid or out of place. I don't want to have to follow anyone around. Hana! Mai set her fist against my temple, twisting it playfully. You're way too serious. It's just a convention. Either you have a good time or you don't, and then you go home and everyone forgets about it. Sometimes I get the feeling you think if you make one mistake it's going to haunt you to your grave. Life is way more forgiving than that. So let's get going. Easy for her to say. She was an entirely different breed of person than I was. Sighing, I followed Mai down the convention floor. The convention took place across a myriad of rooms. Free play, quiet lounge, merchants alley, tournament rooms, demonstrations, tiny lecture halls for performances, stages for cosplay contests, and the like. Mai and I headed for the main lobby to get our badges and found the guys doing the same thing. Man, are you guys excited or what? Am I ever? I heard there was a big celebrity here. They apparently starred in one of the games or something. And there's a chance they'll go to the party tonight. I'm just saying, you'll know where I'll be.
Oh, Jared.
You're going too, right, Jared? I don't really know about that. Oh, come on, I can't go alone. I identified myself to the lady at the counter and grabbed my con pass. A small piece of paper tied to a lanyard. I slipped it over my neck.
Hana!
Well, Hana, do you want to take a look around? Sure. Gerard and I started off for the merchant's alley, but as I glanced back, the rest of the crew dispersed. Nobody followed us. Wait, where are they going? Everyone has something different they want to see. And I heard some of them wanted lunch, so they're going that way. Lunch? Come to think of it, I was pretty hungry. We didn't eat breakfast in our rush to get to the train. So this is the merchant's alley. We walked into a giant room, every inch of it lined with tables, booths, and people. Gerard casts his arms to the sides in a grand gesture and nearly clotheslined a man. He drew his hands back in sheepishly and headed for the very first booth. So, do you see anything you like? I glanced across the room, darting from table to booth to stall. There are some things I vaguely knew about, stuff that wasn't t-shirts and even on TV from time to time, Nario and Nokamon and the like. But there were way too many things that were completely alien to me. Monsters, grizzled old men, designs on t-shirts, plushies, body pillows, action figures, and most of all, piles and piles of video games. It was daunting, and I was completely out of my element. I shook my head. It's daunting and very easy to understand. Sorry, that was a sequelitis Zelda reference. Oh, well, what games have you played? I've never owned a console, so...
Really?
Never? I don't really know what most of this stuff is. I see. You don't like that Hana is a really bland character before each route. It's kind of not good to see that a person can be so bland. I think that's... It's true, Hana is a bit the generic bullied girl type, maybe. I can see why you'd say that. But in some way I do relate to her. Gerard chilled off, then with a grunt, he turned to me and saluted.
Hana!
Hana! Yes? Allow me to teach you a thing or two about video games. Teaching me about video games? Was that even something I was really interested in? Aside from a handful of games I played with my neighbor as a kid, I only had my gameless 4DS and my mobile game. Did I really want to be, a gamer? Didn't you come here to search for Princess Pumpernickel? Oh, apparently Gerard remembered for the first time. His itty-bitty kitty map. He dug around his pocket and withdrew it, his shoulders sagging. Well, in that case, I don't want to drag you around while I do this boring stuff. You can go do something else if you want. Oh, jeez. So either I spent my time wandering around the convention alone, or I followed Gerard around like a baby duck. But if I wasn't going to go with him, what was I going to do? Hana's hungry. Find the free playroom. I think if we stick with we can stick with Jordan and learn more about IBKs. It is an option. Maybe we need that information about IBKs later. Don't do it, Hana. It's an expensive hobby in gaming. Yeah, it kinda is. Well, now with Steam and all, you can get games for pretty cheap, but you do need a good PC or console. Huh. This is difficult. Should I stick with Gerard, or should I grab something to eat? I don't know what to do. You spend far too much on hats. Hana is hungry, so maybe we should grab something to eat. Or we can learn more about video games by going to the free playroom. But if I do that, then Gerard can't teach me about video games anymore. Maybe I should go grab something to eat. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. Actually, I'm pretty hungry, so I'm gonna go eat. Alright, sounds good to me. You gonna be okay? Of course, it's only a crowd. I've been in crowds before. Great, then I'll meet you back at the free play room when I'm done. It should only take me an hour or so.
Yeah.
Right, I'll see you then. Gerard nodded, glanced at his map, then jogged to the back of the room. I waved at him until he disappeared into the flow of people. I was well and truly alone. Okay, this is fine, this is cool. I just have to find where the food court is. No trouble at all. But of course, finding the food court was much more trouble than I thought. Oh no. People passed by me on all sides, and I found myself joining the flood towards one direction without even thinking about it. Oh no. The crowd pressed around me, and together we walked for some time. I was too polite to try to elbow my way out. This is not good. And a group of guys behind me were chatting loudly about how excited they were and what panels they were heading to next. Too embarrassed to ask them for help, I stared at my shoes. Everyone has their unique quirks, but Hana doesn't really have anything. You know bullied girls, and you've been bullied yourself 8 years. And people who are bullied have a personality more than Hana has. I guess you could say she's a generic VN protag that has a blank character so the player can relate along the route. But as a real person, it'd be strange to be Hana's. A person who is as bland as a chalkboard at the start. And huh. I can see that. No problem. We were pushed into line for an escalator, and with nothing else going for me, I stepped onto it. Oh god, I'm going to starve to death at this rate!
Hana!
Hana! A familiar voice called to me, and I whirled around. Jimmy, is that you?
Hey!
Hey, where you headed? The food court? I'm a little lost. Oh, perfect. I'm just about to eat. You should come with me. As soon as we were off to the escalator, Jimmy led me to the side and into some kind of courtyard area. The ceilings were high and made of glass, so the sun shone through, illuminating the myriad food stalls and people milling through the room, including a group of people with shining yellow jackets. Uh-oh.
What's up?
Hey, guys. Jimmy immediately ran to catch up with them, his head bobbing through the crush of people. For a brief second, I wonder whether I should go with him. Do I really want to spend my time fraternizing with the enemy? Last time it was a good idea not to, but we're not really busy with strategy yet. The safest thing to do now is heck yeah, I think. I'll save, to be sure. Heck yeah. The Hidden Block guys were friends with the Normal Boots Club, after all. Indeed. I had to keep reminding myself, but there it was. There was no real reason to avoid them. Besides, if I did, they'd just think I was a jerk. Jim was pulling on Walid's arm and pointing to me from the table. I sighed, too late to turn back now. Hana, good to see you. Yeah, I heard you got lost. How was that? Not good. These kinds of places are ridiculous to try to navigate. They're almost never set up in a way that makes sense. And every year it's a little bit different. Even I get lost sometimes. Yeah, I'm just not used to other people, and the maps are hard to understand when you can't even see the entire room. What do you mean? Ian looked down at me from... Oh, wait, that's not Luke. What do you mean? Ian looked down at me from his gargantuan perch, way up there, at the top of his 6 feet of height. I shrugged. You wouldn't understand. So are you hungry? We are going to get something from one of these places and meet back up here.
Yeah.
I'm starving. Yes, let's go. The shops around the courtyard were the regular fast food fare you'd expect to see at any mall or public gathering. There were different shops as per your cultural taste. I ended up grabbing myself a dubious-looking hot dog, one of the few pieces of any menu that was selling for less than $6. I didn't have that much money to spend as per my meal budget, so I had to make it count. Only Walid was there when I got back to the table. I set my tray across from him and smiled tentatively. I didn't know much about Walid at all. He was a member of the Hidden Block Club, and he seemed to be smart. Not wanting to be the one to start the conversation, I took a ginormous bite of my hot dog. So, where did you just come from? Have you been to the indie booths yet? I finished chewing and swallowed, shaking my head. I was with Gerard. We were looking for an IBK figurine, but I left him to it. Oh, an IBK figurine. Wally's ears perked up, and I glanced at him in mild surprise. You know them? Of course. Their rise to popularity is partially fueled by the marketing tactic to exploit supply and demand. It's both clever and ridiculously irksome. Yeah, Gerard, the one Gerard's after, Princess Pumpernickel, or something. Apparently there's only a handful of her in existence, but Gerard's determined to get one. Is he now? It's impressive of him to be going this far. I mean, he got almost every other figure. I kind of wish there was something I could do to help him, but I don't know the first thing about IBKs except for my own Chibi-Upa. Interesting. Weird that they're so hard to find, is it? Isn't it? Jesus. Yeah, I guess. Well, it was kind of a weirdo if you asked me. Thankfully at that moment, Ian and Caddy came back. Caddy throwing his tray down with a dramatic sigh. You okay? He's just missing his pets from home. Just missing? Just missing my pets? They're like my family! Of course I'm missing them! Nothing is more important to me than family! Furballs. The likes of you wouldn't understand. I don't suppose a moose is capable of love. Whoa, that was uncalled for. Moose are very loving creatures. They keep it all in their antlers. The two glared at each other, then turned away. Are those two? Don't worry, they're always like this. It's because they secretly love each other.
What?
We do not! It's the love that can only be shown through competitiveness and antagonism. A very special kind of friendship. A rivalry that propels both people to new heights, causing them to believe ever more in themselves. They're the most important people to each other. They believe in each other's dreams and want to help each other pull through.
If you like him, go for it.
You should believe in yourself too, Hana. What? Where did this come from? I heard you talking about a certain completionist. He winked at me and he chit into my cheeks. I don't know what you're talking about. No, but you guys went to the flower festival together. I'm sure that you two are going to. I smacked my hands over Luke's mouth. Shut up, shut up! I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy peeled my hands gently off of Luke's face. Okay, calm down there. We're not going to say anything else about that, are we, Luke? He shot Luke a glare, but Luke merely crossed his arms. I think you all know where we stand. You guys are the absolute worst. You have to admit, the look on your face was hilarious. Have you not seen this yet? That's what you get for hanging out with us, to be honest. I hate you all. Not an uncommon reaction. I was expecting a lunch with the Hidden Block Club to be similar to a lunch with the Normal Boots Club. It wasn't. Aside from the constant references and attempts to pry into my love life, the Hidden Block Club were way more combative with each other, reminding me of a group more of a group of brothers than a group of close friends. And more HB is always good. Okay. You could tell they cared for each other deep down, and they found a way to get along with each other. Most of the time. But they pretty much told it to each other like it was. It was endearing, and I could honestly see the appeal, even if it was exhausting. I was already on my way to being a member of the Normal Boots Club. In other words, I'm not gonna get the best ending. There's no point in getting attached. I finished my hot dog and stood. Leaving already? Yeah, sorry, I'm supposed to meet with the others.
Bye.
Okay, well, it was nice having you here.
Bye.
Yeah, have fun. I set my tray on the trash can and popped into the escalator, heading back the way I came. Hana and the Hidden Block Club are hilarious. Yeah, they are. Now that the crowds calmed down a little, I was sure I could find my way back to the free play room. As I rode up, I waved to the Hidden Block Club. To my surprise, all of them waved back, their sleeves wafting like sunflowers in the breeze. They weren't that bad. I could see why everyone was friends. With a sigh, I focused on navigating through the crowds. If I wasn't mistaken, the free playroom was right around here.
Hey guys.
Hey everybody! Somehow, as if by magic, everybody happened to converge in the free playroom at the exact same time. Mai bopped along behind Jared and PBG, and I rushed to her side. How was your expedition? Oh, Hana, I'm in heaven. You have to win the tournament for the good of everyone. And yes, you picked wrong, but that's okay. Well, I have seen... it's strange. I have seen the playthrough of Jared, Jared's playthrough with his wife Heidi, where they like dated himself, and they made different choices at some places, but they still got the best end. We'll forgive you, and I'm not going to tell you where you went wrong. I think I know where I went wrong. If I did. I probably went wrong at going to eat. Everyone? Yeah, okay, mostly me, but I'll tell you more about it later. She pointed to the guys who were staring at us expectantly. Pardon? Where do you guys want to go eat? Oh, I already ate. Oh, okay. You can still come with us though. Well, I already spent my lunch budget for the day, and I didn't have that much money to spend, and I didn't want to put myself in temptation's path. I knew that if I went with them, I would have something I didn't want or couldn't really afford. No, I'll just go hang out with my... Sorry, Hana, I'm actually going out with some friends. With some friends? Mike clasped her hands together as if in a prayer. Yeah, I found some cute guys who want me to take for food. I don't know if I can bring you along, I'm sorry. No, that's okay, I'll just stay here and practice. Okay, sorry, Hana. Yeah, sorry, Hana. Is everybody else ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm starving. I've been hearing good things about this pizza. I'm ready.
I'm not so sure.
Actually, can you guys wait for me? I want to walk Hana back to her room. Gerard, you don't need to. It's the least I can do. We'll wait for you, but hurry up. It'll be anarchy in a few more minutes. Gerard, we really didn't need to do this. I know, I just felt kind of bad. Hi, Kyle Aster. Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? I just felt kind of bad. I know you were nervous about coming to the convention, and now you're hardly spending any time with us. That's okay, there's always tomorrow. It's a three-day event after all. I guess so. If you ever need anything, you have my number, right? Yeah, you gave it to me. You gave it to me that day you sent me on the tour.
Right.
Right. Well, good. I nodded. Gerard hesitated in the doorway, and I watched him apparently wavering between something. Nice. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, good. Gerard nodded, and I nodded back. Gerard nodded again. I nodded again. He still wasn't moving. Gerard, don't you have to catch up with the others? Yeah, I guess I do. Well, when I come back, we'll have lots of time to spend together, right?
Yeah.
Of course we will. Good, great. Then there's nothing to be worried about. Were you worried about something?
No way.
No, of course not. It's just nice to be able to spend time with you, so... I mean, I was looking forward to it, so... I was excited, so... Yeah. But I'll see you later, so in that case, I will just... leave now. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool, so I'm going to go. Okay, great, I'll see you when you get back. Yeah, when I get back, I'll see you then.
Catch you later.
Yeah, see you then. Finally, Gerard left. I shut the door, then collapsed against it, and buried my face in my hands. So cute. I didn't end up seeing much of Mai that day, or the next. Oh, so the next day has already ended. At first I was a little worried that I wouldn't fit in without Mai to hang on to, but as the hours passed and the days went by, my worries faded away. After all, Gerard was always by my side. He was always worrying about me, always making sure I knew what reference we're referring to, and that I didn't feel quite so lonely. He paid so much attention to me and was so kind that it was almost overwhelming. Gerard constantly did things for me and kept me in his thoughts. Meanwhile, here I was doing... what? What was I doing for him? How was I helping him? As the weekends went on, I found myself questioning it more and more. There must be something more I could do to help Gerard, but what? Finally, it was the night before we were set to go back to Asagao. The days of hanging out with Gerard in the Normal Boots Club, of sassing the Hidden Block Club and secret Nerf wars in the halls were over. Even the convention goers were themselves drastically thinned out. Suddenly it was possible to go places without rubbing against several sweaty strangers, and restaurant workers actually smiled at you when you ordered. I snuggled up under the blankets of my bed, just laying there enjoying the warmth and relaxation. The next day, Everything would be gone. All the carefree fun, the lack of stress, the bonding, the new things, and the excitement, and the chance to spend so much time with Gerard. All of it would be gone. But that was okay. After the practice and knowledge I gained, I was more ready than ever to go back to Asagao and kick some hidden block ass. Let's see, how many... Oh, we already have 15 tournament points. Cool. So I'm pretty sure Mime at that hot movie star ended up breaking his heart. We got pictures with him, and then he kept coming to our door. I had a heart attack. Whoa. And then I was seen moping around the convention floor. Maybe I'm reading into this, but that's funny. I giggled to myself, glad that Mai was at the last convention party of the trip. No doubt she'd have some wild stories to tell when I finally had time to see her. Someone knocked on my door, interrupted my thoughts. I glanced at the clock. 10 p.m. What could they want? I went to the door and stood on my tiptoes, peering through the people. Familiar spectacles greeted me through a fisheye view. Satch, is something wrong? Is Gerard with you? I know you were hanging out a lot this weekend. Satch tried to peer past me into my room, but I shook my head. The last I saw him was at dinner, and then I came back here. Is he okay? He hasn't come back yet, and I'm worried. He wanted to get sleep early so that he would be awake for the ride back.
What?
You don't think something happened to him, do you? No, he's probably fine. I'm just worried. I think we're going to look for him. Thanks for your help, Hana. Wait! I sent through the hallway, pulling the door shut behind me. I'm coming with you. Thanks. While Satch and the others searched inside the convention center, I walked up and down the streets outside of it. Gerard said something about wanting to check out the shops nearby for Princess Pumpernickel, right? I walked from one end of the block to the other and back again, too terrified of roaming the city alone to make it much further. Surely he was somewhere around here, though. Surely he wouldn't have gone too far. What was that? An odd snoring kind of noise was coming from just inside the alleyway to my right. Was it a homeless person or... I swallowed heavily, heart pumping fast. If it was Gerard, and I just left him out here, he'd definitely get mugged and beaten and probably even kidnapped. Be strong, Hana, be strong. Be strong for Gerard. I tiptoed quietly into the alleyway. There, slumped against the brick corner, sat a sleeping Gerard, a small brown paper bag in his hands. Gerard! Gerard! I shook him by the shoulder, but he was completely non-responsive. I took out my phone and sent a quick text to Satch. Then I remembered how he never got his number. Damn it! I squatted next to Gerard, lightly smacking him across the face. I didn't want to leave him there to go find the others. Maybe if I could wake him up. You can call Jared. You have his number. Gerard blinked heavily, staring sleepily at me.
Gerard.
Gerard. I grabbed his hand and pulled him with all my might. We've got to get you back to your room, come on! He shook his head vigorously, clearly having no desire to leave his nice, comfy, abandoned alleyway slumped against the brick wall position. Gerard, come on! This time I smacked him hard across the face, and his eyes opened. He turned to look at me and nodded thoughtfully. Are you coming? He gave his arm a tug, and he got to his feet, nodding again. Okay. Come on, let me get you to your room. If there was ever anything I did that made me look like someone who needed to be immediately incarcerated, this was it. I was leading Gerard like a blind man, narrating the obstacles in the hall and trying to clarify exactly where I was taking him. Every time his eyelids drooped, I gave him a hard smack across the face. Hotel employees whispering behind their hands. I'm going to give you so much shit for this when we get back. Finally, I managed to pull him to his room and fish his key out of his pocket. Feeling like some kind of thief, which admittedly wasn't that bad of a feeling, I pushed him into his room and shut the door. Gerard teetered on his feet like some kind of tower in the wind, and I tugged him towards the bed by poking him in the belly. Stop it! Stop it! You deserve worse than this for what you put me through tonight. I pulled the sheets back and shoved him into bed. He curled up with a happy sigh. Stupid. He wrapped his hands around his pillow and buried his face into it, happy as a kid in a cloud. It was kind of hard to be angry at him when he was being like that. Silly. Aww. Oh, it's the alarm clock. Aww. I grabbed the edge of Gerard's blanket, carefully pulling it over his sleeping form. Thank you. Don't worry about it, Gerard. No, really. Thanks for being there for me. Gerard smiled into his pillow, and slowly his breathing steadied out. Just like that, he was asleep. Silly kitty. An alarm clock by the bed caught my eye, and I suppressed a giggle. An itty-bitty kitty alarm clock. He brought an itty-bitty kitty alarm clock with him. Of course he did. You're the silliest person I've ever met. I gazed at his sleeping face. He looked so relaxed, so calm. I swept a lock of hair from his forehead. Then I was seized with the impulse to kiss him, and my face flushed. Could I? No, he was sleeping. Get a grip on yourself, Hana. The door opened and a nervous Satch burst through. Hana? Gerard. So you found him. One of the hotel staff told me a pink-haired girl was dragging a man with kittens on his shirt up to some room. I hoped it was you. It's a good thing we're leaving tomorrow. They probably all think I'm trying to kill you guys. Oh, definitely. Death by cuteness. Anyways, I need to get going. We've got to get up. We've got to get up early tomorrow, you know? I do. Thanks for your help, Hana. You're a great friend. He grinned mischievously at me, and I swallowed hard.
Bye.
Right, so see you tomorrow. I raced back to my room, face aflame. Was I really that obvious? Satch was the worst. It was finally time to take the train back to Asagao. Mai and I woke up dead, so tired we didn't even bother changing out of our pajamas. We dragged our luggage to the hotel lobby and climbed into the lobby chairs, setting our foreheads against our knees. It's not even light outside. This is hell! Didn't take long for the others to show up. Everyone except Jared, Gerard, and Satch were still in their pajamas. PG was clutching a pillow and Jimmy was wrapped in a blanket like some kind of burrito blanket. We traveled to the train station like a herd of zombies, only Gerard and Satch sustaining conversation. Even though Jared was dressed, he still looked like he'd shoot anyone who looked at him the wrong way. We piled into the train, barely noticing who was with who. I followed Gerard and Jared into a compartment, and Mai followed me. Jared's eyes widened, but it was too late to escape. The train rumbled into motion, and away we went. Mai took a seat next to Jared, and after he gave me a pleading look, I took a seat on the other side of her. The train rumbled steadily down the track, a lulling movement almost like the rocking of a carriage. Mai was quiet for once, eyes compulsively falling shut. I watched her struggling to stay awake, occasionally snapping her head up, like a dog trying to catch a fly, then falling lower again. Finally, her head lolled onto Jared's shoulder, and she was fast asleep. Jared glanced uncomfortably at her head, but even he wasn't rude enough to wake a sleeping girl. At some point, I noticed Jared's leg fidgeting. He looked supremely uncomfortable and kept glancing at the compartment door. Jared, you okay? Hana. He peeled Mai's head off his shoulder and handed a limp form to me. I really, really need to pee. Please take care of her. Relieved of his burden, he dashed out the door. Tried to settle Mai on my shoulder, but no sooner had I leaned her against me than she fell directly into my lap. Mai, are you completely fine? A snore came from across the compartment. Gerard was clutching his mouth, trying hard to suppress his laughter. I shot him a glare. Hey, no worries. He shifted from his seat, now taking the open space next to me. You look just as tired as her. You can use my shoulder as a pillow if you want. Gerard smiled kindly at me. And again, I found myself wondering what I did to deserve this from him. Was he being nice again just because? Did he want something from me? No, that's alright. I'm going to wait until we get back to Asagao.
Sure.
Okay, but if you need me, I'm right here. Jared entered the compartment again, and after a brief glance at the three of us, Gerard took Gerard's old seat across the way. Ice cold. I watched the trees speed past the train, my eyes getting heavier and heavier. But I could stay awake, definitely. I wasn't tired at all. I wasn't... A jolt shot me into alertness. I was leaning against something warm and soft. I pushed myself up, wiping drool on my face. Have a nice nap?
Gerard.
Gerard, you look like you slept well. I flushed and Mai giggled beside me. You were so cute the way you were snoring. No. I didn't mind it. Mai gave me a look and I knew exactly what she meant by it. I would never live this down. And so just like that, our convention getaway was over. Things were going back to normal. I gathered up my things and headed back to the Asagao campus, avoiding Gerard's eyes the entire time. Okay, and then starts the next chapter. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick break and see you guys in a bit.